How you doing? My name is Lorna Fitzsimmons.
And I'm Jennifer Shortall. We're two of the directors from Poison Pen. Steven Benedict couldn't be here. But we have just come out of the London premiere of our film and we are very excited.
Yeah, it went down really well. We were a bit nervous to bring it to London. It's set in London and we shot it in Dublin for London. So actually it went down really well and we're really pleased.
And we're pretty excited as well because we're returning to the scene of... We did do some shooting in London, about a week of filming here. And so we got to see all of the places again that we were filming, which was a lot of fun. And everybody seemed to really respond really well to it. Yeah.
Loads of laughing. That's always good in a comedy.
Yeah. Well, it's huge. It's such a big it's such a big deal. This is London, you know. I mean, you know, obviously, you know, a year and a half ago, this was all just a dream, and now it's a reality, which is a really big. It's an amazing, life-changing experience.
I think it's really important just that when you do stuff in Ireland to be able to bring it to a wider audience and for us as directors to have, and the whole crew, to have their work seen outside the homegrown kind of audience. So it's really exciting to be able to show it in the Irish Film Festival in London.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And obviously our film, because it's set in London, we had every reason to want it to come to London, to go to a London or Irish audience. So this is kind of this is the best festival it could have gone to, really, for our film anyway. Owen was very generous, gave us a script that he'd written actually about 20 years ago, but he gave it to Filmbase, and basically all of the changes that were made were just to kind of update it slightly, because obviously it was written 20 years ago, so some of the references had to be brought in. So we brought in like One Direction and Matthew McConaughey and things like that, where there had been, I think, Madonna before. So and what else? Oh, also originally the script was set in New York, so we transposed that to London.
Well, originally the script was set in New York and Graham Cantwell took it and set it in London. It was just more achievable from us. Like, shooting Dublin for London was achievable. Shooting Dublin for New York, I don't see any brownstones anywhere. Yeah. But Graham Cantwell did a great job kind of just making all the references. And you'd be surprised how many references there are, you know, relating to kind of New York. So there's a bit of work in there. We had decided to take one of the characters out. There was an ex-wife character for our protagonist, and we took her out, made the script much more achievable for us as well, less complicated. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So the film came out of we were students on the MSc course in Filmbase, which is a relatively new course. This is it's in its fourth year now, so we were the third year to come up through, and it was also the first year that there were actually two films. The first 2 years, the entire class worked on one film, and then in the third year they decided to have a bigger cohort and that we would split and do two films. So there were two scripts, and we chose to do the Eoin Colfer script, the Poison Pen, and the other script was The Light of Day, which is a mockumentary about filmmaking, about making a horror film, which is really funny, and people should catch that if they can. Our crew all came from the class, and it was amazing because it sort of organically came about that a lot of our HOD roles were filled by women. And we didn't even kind of think about that until we were deep into pre-production and realised that, oh my God, we're like almost an entire crew of women. Obviously, Steven Benedict is the third director. There's the two of us and Steven. And then both of our producers were female. Our first AD, our location manager, costume, makeup.
I kind of like that it happened naturally. I like that there didn't seem to be any everyone pitched for their roles, and it just happened naturally. A lot of the younger males in the class went for the mockumentary style film, so it worked out really nicely.
Yeah.
It's kind of really nice to work on a predominantly female crew, but at the same time, I don't think it had any impact in terms of choices, I don't think.
Yeah, no, exactly. Everybody pitched for their role, and I completely forgot a cinematographer, Penny.
Yes,
Penny Morrell Gray, who did an amazing job, an incredible amount of work, and just is phenomenal just in general at getting things done, and
making them look good,
and making them look fantastic. Which was wonderful. So yeah, basically, this is kind of exciting in terms of just. The MSc course is feeding the Irish film industry. The people who graduate from it will be, working in the industry. And what was so great about it was that the relationships that you forge through doing this is they're realistic, because you're working on an actual feature film, and there's no excuses. There's no. Filmbase weren't taking any excuses from us. It's no but we're students, we can't do that. Not at all. From the very word go, it was, you are filmmakers, you are to be held to the same standards as any other filmmakers. So that was... a lot of people, important.
In the class, there were people at different levels, and I myself had decided to do the course solely because they make a feature film. I don't think there's any other courses anywhere that actually come out with a feature film. A lot of courses do short films, which are valid in their own right. But I particularly had wanted to learn how to make feature films. I'd made one before and had assigned it to this definitely because they make a feature film. Subsequently to that, you have to write a thesis and all that, which was difficult, but I found it enjoyable in the end. But for me, the main thing was to learn on set how to make a feature film.
Yeah, it's a very intensive course. There's a lot fitted into the 1 year. It's you have quite a lot of academic writing to do, and also a lot of practical filmmaking, film production kind of things that you have to do.
They bring in a lot of very interesting visiting lecturers. That's another thing that I found really good. They bring in very high standard.
Absolutely, yeah.
Kind of course content just for the first couple of months. You do everything from pre-production to post-production, sales, and script writing. They had Michael Kinarans, they had Kathy Daly,
David Pope,
Pope, all excellent. Kind of for the first 3 months, and then then you're given the script and you have to make a film. So it was really, I think it's excellently set up. But then secondly, that they address two issues that I think a lot of students don't address. One, they bring in scripts. The students don't have to write scripts themselves. So we, got an Eoin Colfer script, so that the chances of working on a piece of work as well structured as that for students is very rare. And secondly, we bring in professional actors. So that allows students to do their learning on the actual filmmaking, and not in the first two things that usually kill a low budget film.
Our actors were fantastic, incredible, really, really brilliant actors that we couldn't have asked for better. They just, and it was amazing that they were so generous, especially Lachlan, just so generous with their time and forgiving, shall we say, of obviously, it's a learning experience for a lot of us. I mean, I think you're always going to learn something new anyway, no matter what, no matter how many films you make, you would presumably hope that you're going to learn something new in each one. But obviously, a lot of us were quite green, and there were, Lachlan was just.
He's really good at physical comedy as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and set was quite fun a lot of the times. But then you have people like Aaron Heffernan on the set, who just had everyone in stitches, in between takes, and who ad-libbed a lot of his part. A lot of the script was very structured, and had to hit certain beats, but in his character, you know, he expanded it quite a bit. And then you have amazing actors like Eoin McGinnity, who just embodied our leading female, and it was such a pleasure to work with her. And
she's
also
fantastic. She's a fantastic actress, and you know, you really see it in the edit room when you're watching it back. And I mean, you see it on set, but then you see it in the edit, and you're just like, wow, she's giving you everything you need and everything you want, just absolutely always.
I think I really learnt quite a lot from Eoin in that she would very quietly say beforehand, you know, she'd go through the words and she'd ask you a couple of very it's not the word, but very good questions on, okay, how do you want this? And you could really see how I really learnt quite a lot on, and it was quite fun too.
Yeah, she's very sharp. With that kind of thing. Her questions are on the money, and the way that she it's only a few questions, and then you just see her put it all into...
You see her calculate it and put it all together, and then it comes out in the performance, and it's beautiful. Yeah. And it's such a pleasure. Like, I did a lot of stuff in the offices and the Poison Pen offices, and some days it was such a pleasure to watch them bring the script to life. It was really, really great.
Yeah.
Well, it'll do the festival run. It's going to Chicago and it's going to Rome, and I think there's a few other small festivals. We'd really love some sort of distribution, but that's all in negotiations. You know, it's to find someone who's willing to pick it up, and I'm sure it'll go to TV and DVD after that. But you know, it would be really nice to see it get a week in cinemas in Ireland at least.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We just need a sales agent.
Yeah. The festival's run has been a lot of fun so far. I mean, I think it might be killing me because I'm having to fly back and forth. I have no money.
Too many parties.
Too many parties, too many late nights. But at the same time, it is incredible. It's one of those, you know...
That's been another learning journey as well, how to promote the films. We have particularly good producers who, like, the film has a really good internet presence, and it's been really pleasurable to kind of meet people, talk to them about it and go, oh, I've heard about that, and not through you, do you know, so it's really kind of, the producers have really pushed it in terms of getting it.
Sharon Cronin and Anya Cody, who are first-time producers of feature films, you know, as we all are, apart from Lorna. Lorna's made a feature film before, but the rest of us are all noobs, and they are phenomenal. They're amazing. I just can't get my head around how they've taken to it, like, you know, ducks to water. It's incredible. They seem to just know, and I mean, I'm assuming it's because they have really done their homework, but they seem to just know all these things about how to promote a film, how to get the word out, how to keep it fresh in people's minds, and how to not be annoying about that, because, you know, it can be... That kind of thing.
Independent features suffer a lot, you know, down that road. Bigger films have some sort of budget for promotion, or we have nothing, so it has to all be done on the ground. It's all word of mouth, but it's all for us coming to things like the Irish Film Festival in London, and kind of to promote it. So it's been fun, but certainly the producers have done an incredible job.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're kind of we get invited to something like the London Irish Film Festival because of the work that they do. They are they're putting the film out there, and they're really giving us a presence, and, you know, making sure that people know about it so that we can have these opportunities, which is huge, and it's so important, and they are really amazing.